welcome to week 9 of the Get Active Challenge. So straight into it again this week, similar format to last week, so we're upping the duration to 12 minutes just to push you that little bit harder, and we've added a little bit more cardiovascular work in there this week, just to work that heart rate, keep that heart strong, help with blood pressure, and obviously to also burn some calories. So we've got a lower body circuit, an upper body focus circuit, and then a core functional movement circuit. The only piece of equipment you will need is your trusty chair, and we'll get straight to it. Okay then guys, so straight into the warm-up. We're going to be marching on the spot like we normally do. So nice and tall, picking those feet up, core in nice and tight, starting to raise that heart rate up a little bit, and we'll just start off with some nice steady arm circles. So nice and small to begin with, mobilise your shoulder, keep picking those feet up, and we'll just loosen everything off and get going. Good, core in nice and tight, chest up, and then opposite direction with those arms. And as you start to warm up, you can possibly start making those a little bit bigger. So with full body again today, bit of lower body first, and then some upper body, and then a bit of core at the end. So make sure we're nice and warm. We're going to go out to the sides across the front like we normally do. Just open up that chest and stretching out your back. So nice and controlled. Keep picking those feet up to raise that heart rate. So same format as last week, the only difference is we've added a little bit more cardio this week. Okay, so a little bit more cardio just to keep that heart rate up and help to burn a few more calories. Okay, let's get those legs involved. So we're going to drop into a little squat. We've done this before as an exercise, but we're going to twist over to the side. So we get a nice big stretch, little squat onto those heels, and just loosen everything off. So getting those legs moving, big reach over the shoulder, little twist, switch that core on. Remember when we're squatting, we're sending these hips backwards, weight's going through the heels, and we go straight down rather than shooting the knees forwards. We need to be sitting backwards like we're in a chair, okay? Keep those legs moving, stretch out. Good, couple more of those for me. And relax there. Good, so we're just going to use the back of this chair. We've not done this one for a while. We're just going to work through some leg swings. So just nice long leg, swinging it forwards and back. So just let that heart rate come back down a little bit. Open up that hip joint, and just, even if it's just a small range of motion here, or if you can take it a bit further, you should feel a nice stretch in your hip flexor as you go back, and then your hamstring as you go forward, and then it just opens up that joint. And then change leg guys, front to back. Core in nice and tight, make sure the movement's coming from the hip, and just swinging that leg through. Just loosen off. Perfect, and then we're going to go side to side, so I'll just show you from the front. Holding the back of that chair, and your leg's just going to cross across the front, out to the side. Open up those hips. You should get a nice stretch in the outside of the glutes here, and then a nice stretch on the adductors on the inside as you come out. And like I said, just mobilising that hip joint nicely. And change leg, guys. One more on this side. Just loosen everything off, and then we've just got a little upper body one, and we'll get straight to circuit one. Nice long leg. Perfect, and the last one, we've done this one before as well, just supporting yourself on the back of the chair, reaching your arm through the gap, so we're twisting that spine, and then reach up to the ceiling, so twist through and up, just working the same side. Make sure we're keeping this back nice and straight as we reach through, so try not to arch yourself over, and just mobilise your spine. Mobilise your shoulder all the way through, and change sides guys, so I'll come towards you. So reaching through that gap, back's nice and straight, up to the ceiling. Switch your core on, stretch out, loosen off. Good. Couple more of those guys and we'll get going. Nice. Excellent, and relax there guys. Good, we'll get straight to that first circuit. Okay then guys, circuit 1, exercise number 1. We are going to be working a body weight squat, but we're going to use the back of the chair for support. So last week we did the sit to stand. This week's the same thing, but without the chair, okay? So I want you to work those legs a bit more. So you're going to use the back of the chair for support. Feet shoulder to hip width apart, drive those knees out to the sides, and we're just sinking down and coming back up, okay? So imagine you're sitting back onto a chair, the chair's not there though, okay? I want you to keep this chest up, so we're dropping straight down, we're not just shooting the knees forwards, okay? And use your hands as much as you need to, so even if it's just a small range and you're pushing back up, we're just working up and down into those legs, okay? So 45 seconds, we will go in, I'll set my timer on here. 3, 2, 1, and we're in. So using that chair, head and chest up, drop straight down, and just use that chair for support, okay? If you want to make it easier, just don't go as low, just a smaller range of motion, little dip up and down, sitting into these heels, make sure we send those hips backwards, okay, and also make sure we send these knees out to the sides and they're not caving in. Perfect. And if you want to make it harder, we can go lower, we can go a little bit faster as well. Depends on your own abilities, so just work at your own pace. And we're just getting these legs nice and strong. So up and down, 10 more seconds to go. Push through those heels, keep those legs working, use your arms for support. Good, 3, 2, 1. Good, 15-second little breather. Next one is a cardio exercise. So, one of my favorites that we always do, but step back and just reach those arms up into the air. So you're just stepping your foot back and reaching up, okay? 45 seconds in 3, 2, 1, and we're in. So just stepping up, stepping back, sorry. Reach those hands in the air. So just getting those arms and legs moving, getting that heart rate up a little bit. So this one's just designed to keep that heart rate elevated, okay, work your cardiovascular system, okay, which is going to help strengthen up your heart, help with your blood pressure, burn a few calories. Good, if you want to make this harder, you can obviously sink lower, so it's more of a reverse lunge type fashion. If you want to make it easier and your arms are tired, just a small step and a bicep curl, okay? So whichever one's best for you. 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Perfect. 15. Let that heart rate come down a bit. Next one, I'm going to show you front on. I want you to go just outside your chair with your feet. Use your hands for support. Shift your body weight over to one side. Push through that leg back to center. And then over to the other side. Okay? In your own time, off you go. Give that a try. So we're shifting across and pushing up. Same principles though. Make sure these hips are coming backwards, like we're sitting down onto a chair, and we're not shooting the knee forwards. So sit backwards, center, sit backwards, center. Okay? Like I said, even if it's just that tiny range of motion, we're just getting used to loading up one leg, push to center. Load up the other leg, push to center, okay? Take your time. If you want to make it harder, you can try and get lower. And obviously, if you want to make it easier, just stay a touch higher. Just keep working side to side. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Good. Next exercise, another cardio one. Just going to get the heart rate up, but also work those legs a bit. So we're going to drop down into a little quarter squat. So these quads and glutes are switched on. And all you're going to do is tap one foot to the side, tap to the other side. So you just shift your weight over to that standing leg, but we're trying to stay low, okay? Give that a try. So a little dip down, reach away, reach away. So holding these legs nice and strong. If that one is a bit difficult, you just come a little bit higher. Okay, so just stay a bit higher so those legs aren't having to work as hard. If you want to make it harder though, you can sink down a bit more, or you could get down really low and hold these legs nice and strong. Make sure the weight's through the heels, okay? Head and chest up, weight should be through that midfoot, shouldn't be shifting onto your toes on your standing leg. Keep these legs working, 5 seconds, 3, 2, and 1. Right, this last one, we're going a bit crazy. So we've done this one before, but a slight change. So use your chair for support, hand on your hip, we're going to hinge forward. So as we lean forward, we're going going to lengthen this hamstring at the back, and then we just stand up straight and try and bring your knee through. Okay, so give that a try. So you're going to pick your inside leg up, lean forward, back stays nice and straight. You should feel this hamstring switching on, and then you just stand up straight and try and bring your knee up to switch your hip flexor on. So lean forwards and straight. Even if it's just this tiny movement here, that's absolutely fine. If you want to make that harder, you can obviously try and get full stretch, back straight, and then punch that knee through. And we're using that hand for support. Also try and keep your back leg long, that's going to switch that glute on. Quite a tough one. Okay, little lean and back. 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Shaking that leg off. Well done. Same on the other leg. So I'm going to switch sides. Good work on that, guys. Like I said, take your time. It's quite advanced, okay? But like I said at the start, I want to keep you guys working because you're doing really well. So, opposite leg. So nice and balanced on your outside leg. So you're just hinging forward. Keep your hand on your hip if you wanted to. And then knee comes through. Try and think about keeping your chest up, okay? Because that's going to stop your back from folding over and arching. If your back starts to arch, then you're not going to feel it in your hamstring very much. So get that chest through, back nice and straight. And like I said, even if it's just a tiny lean and through. If this one is too difficult completely, just do double leg and just work on leaning over and standing up, reaching down towards your feet and standing back through. But keeping this back nice and straight, that's going to work your hamstrings. Okay, if you can though, try and keep working that single leg. So a little lean forward and through. 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Good. Little breather for 15, guys. That's our 6 exercises. Now we're straight back to the start for the second round through. Okay, so we're back to assisted squat. So behind the back of your chair, we're going to go in 3, 2, 1. Holding that chair, head and chest up, and we're just squatting down. So use the chair for support. You can push into that chair as you come up, just to help with some assistance. It's going to help keep that chest up as well. Weight through the heels, try and drop straight down. And like I said, even if it's just a small little squat, doesn't need to be too far. Keep that back nice and straight. Stay nice and close to your chair as well, just so you've got it for some support. And we're just getting used to moving our own body weight, working our own body weight. Get these legs nice and strong. Good. 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Cardio again. Flying round. Step back and reach. Try and get that heart rate up a little bit and burn a few calories. So in 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. We're stepping back and reaching up into the air. Core in nice and tight, arms nice and long. Like I said before, if your shoulders are tired, you could just give me some bicep curls instead. That's just going to reduce the intensity and the overhead pressure. Okay, if you are feeling good and you want to make it harder, you could step back a bit further and bend that front knee if you wanted to. Okay, just work at your own pace though, whatever's best for you guys. Keep moving, warm one today. Keep it going, well done. Good stuff, 10 more seconds. Forwards and backwards, weight through that front leg. Nice, 5, 3, 2, and 1. Brilliant, take that 15 seconds. Allow that heart rate to come down. We've got the side lunges up next, so you're behind the back of that chair. Slightly wider stance. If you want to make it harder, you can go wider, because then you'll get a bigger stretch. But if it's more, you don't want to put yourself into an uncomfortable position, so you can come narrower, but don't be too narrow because you won't be able to shift. Okay, off we go. So feet just outside, shoulder width apart, shift over, up to center. All of that weight is going through this outside bending leg. Chest is staying up, hips are going backwards. So we're just going straight down, up to center. Straight down, up to center. Okay, weights through the midfoot or into the heel even. Don't shift your toes up in the air. And just keep working these legs side to side. Use your hands for balance and support. If you want to make it harder, like I said, you can try and sink a bit deeper. 5 seconds, guys, well done. 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. 15 seconds rest. Next up is the little mini squat with the foot tap. So we're trying to stay nice and low, switch these quads on, switch these glutes on, core in nice and tight, and just keep those feet moving. We'll go in 3, 2, 1. So a little quarter squat, and we're tapping. So heads up, chest up, core's in nice and tight. These legs are going to hold us nice and strong. This middle leg's going to be holding most of our body weight, so it's going to be quite challenging. Other leg's nice and long. And try and stay in that slightly lower position. Okay, as you can see from my knee here, slight little knee bend, chest stays up. If you want to make it easier though, just come higher. Okay, that's going to take less strain through the muscle. And we're just moving, guys, staying on the move, getting that heart rate up a bit, getting those legs nice and strong. Day-to-day movements, you might have to shift over onto one leg to grab something. So we're just loading up those legs. 3, 2, and 1, perfect. And then these last 2 is the arabesque exercise. So, holding that chair, outside leg, it doesn't matter which one, but the outside leg's normally a bit more stable because then you've got your outside leg and your inside hand. So when you're ready, hand on your hip, little lean forward, stretch this standing leg, and then lean backwards to bring your knee through. So little lean forwards, and then backwards for knee through. So keep this chest up, this back needs to be nice and straight. Have a slight bend in this standing leg because then it's going to work the hamstring more rather than being into the joint. And then also if you can, kick that back leg straight and that's going to engage your glutes as well. Okay, so we're just working on this hip hinge motion here. So imagine you've got a skewer straight through the hip there. We're just working around that axis just to lengthen and work the posterior chain. And relax there, guys, good. Same on the other side. So when we do a lot of squats, lunges, it's very quad and glute dominant, whereas the hip hinging is going to work those hamstrings a bit more. Keep those hamstrings healthy for when we're bending over, picking up objects, okay? Opposite leg. So leaning forward and off we go. Little lean forward, and like I keep saying, even if it's just a tiny lean and a knee drive, that's absolutely fine. If you want to make that harder, you can really lean it out, stretch that hamstring, core in nice and tight, squeeze your glutes. Keep this one controlled. We're working on the focus on the control of the movement rather than the speed. Obviously your standing leg's going to be working really hard, so if you do get tired, just pop your feet down, have a rest. You have got the option of the double leg hip hinge as well. Good stuff, guys. Last 5 seconds, couple more reps. Squeeze that leg, last one. And relax there, round 1 done, well done. Okay then guys, so round 2, we're going to have that upper body focus like I just mentioned with a little bit of cardio in between. So exercise number 1, a little bit advanced, and we've done a lot of push-ups recently, so I wanted to change it up a little bit. So we are going to get into this push-up position like we have done recently with the chair, okay? Hinge yourself over so you've got a slight bend in these elbows and we're holding that tension across the chest. And all you're going to try and do is tap the opposite shoulder, okay? So we're going to be working the shoulder, the pec, the back of the arms to hold yourself, and then working the core. So when you twist, try not to turn your body weight out. Try and stay nice and square over the top, and then you'll feel this core switching on, okay? If your chair is on a slippery surface, okay, come nice and close, and then you can bend over lower to make it a bit harder. Okay, if your chair's quite solid and you're confident in that, you can take your feet back a bit further, which is going to make it harder as well, okay? So whatever type of chair you've got, see how you go on. If your chair's completely a hazard, then you could also do it on the wall. So you could lean forward, hold that position, and then tap in your shoulder and try not to twist too much from that wall position, okay? So whichever one's best for you. We'll set the timer, guys. We'll give that a go. In 3, 2, 1. So leaning over your chair, slight bend in the elbow, and then we're just tapping. Okay, so we're trying to keep this core tight. We're trying to keep your back nice and straight. We're not twisting. Okay, we're trying to stay as level as we can. And we're just holding these arms, okay? So you might, day to day, you might put your arm on something to pick something off the floor. So it's having that strength and stability in your shoulder to be able to do those sorts of moves which you don't normally think about, okay? So hold that body weight. If you want to make it harder, remember 2 options. If your chair's stable, you can take your feet back. That's going to make it significantly harder. If your chair moves like mine does, you might want to come a bit closer and just sink down a bit lower. So those arms are in a deeper position. They've just got to push a bit harder and hold your body weight into that chair. Good. 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Little breather. Bit of a different one, but just getting that up and going. Okay, next exercise, guys. We're going to get straight into it. We're just going to be marching and punching in front. Okay, off we go. So you're picking those knees up, getting those arms moving, cores in nice and tight. As always, if you want to make it easier, we just slow it down, pick your feet up, keep your arms moving. If you want to make it harder, punch your knees through, punch those arms through. And if you want to make it really hard, you could obviously turn it into a kind of a light jog where you're shifting and switching your feet. Okay, but whatever's best for you, try and just keep moving, keep your heart rate up. Keep those arms moving, and it's just going to help work your cardiovascular system and burn a few calories. Good job, guys. 5 seconds. Keep it going. 3, 2, 1. Good. Okay, we're going to work those pulling muscles next. So we've done these before, but I've just added some extra bits in together. So face pulls, the same as last week. So you're going to pull your elbows back to your sides. You're then going to rotate your hands, push to the ceiling, back to 90, palms to the floor. Okay, so we'll give that a go. So arms in front, pull your elbows back, palms facing forward, push up to the ceiling, elbows to 90, palms facing down, and forwards again. So same again, pull back, rotate, press, back down, palms forward. So a bit confusing, but try and just work that upper back. So I'll come a bit closer to the camera just so you can see. So you're just working up and down. So arms forward, we pull back, squeeze your shoulder blades together, rotate out, press up, down, palms down, and relax there, guys. Good. Okay, next cardio exercise, we're going to be marching on the spot and we're going to be punching to the sides just to keep those arms and legs moving. We're going in 5 seconds, guys. 3, 2, 1, so march those feet out and then those arms are coming out to the side. So core in tight, keep your feet moving. If you want to make it harder, we can go higher and faster. If you want to make it easier, just slow it down. Shoulders might be feeling this one a little bit, so if your shoulders do get tired, you can just punch a little bit lower or punch down towards the ground. Okay, those face pulls and rotations that we just worked on, they're working your rotator cuffs and the back of your shoulders, which can get quite weak, so your arms might feel a bit tired afterwards. Good, 10 more seconds. Try and keep moving. We've got another exercise after this one. This is a bit of a new one. We'll see how we get on with it. Good, 3, 2, 1. Okay, next one, bit of a new one, a little bit advanced. We'll see how we get on. We're going to take your chair, take a seat. Sit on the edge of your chair. What I want you to try and do, guys, is have your feet in a nice solid position, and then you're just going to try and lift your bottom off the chair if you can, okay? So, this is what I want you to try and do. Pick one foot up off the ground, pop it down. Pick the other foot up, pop it down. If you need to take a seat, you can take a seat. Give that a try for me, and I'll give you other options as we go. So, taking that bottom off and trying to pick one leg up and one leg down. Okay, so we're working the triceps, the shoulders, the core, the hip flexors, the legs. Okay, if you want to make that harder, you can try straighten your leg, back to the middle, straighten your leg, back to the middle, okay? If that's really hard, you could literally just work on, hold your body weight, take a seat, have a little rest. Hold your body weight, and then take a seat. Whatever you can manage, guys. So if you can hold and lift, that's great. We'll go for 3 more seconds. 2, 1, and relax there. So again, quite a challenging one. Have a breather. Next one for cardio, we're going to be marching, and we're going to be punching in the air to keep those shoulders working. So 3, 2, 1, let's go. So marching on the spot, punching those arms up. Exercise number 6 takes us halfway through the second round. So just chatting through that last exercise, guys. It's a little bit of a difficult one. It's going to work that upper body strength. It's going to help you for kind of pushing yourself up out of a chair, off the ground if you ever needed to. But it is quite difficult. So even if you just work on trying to lift your bottom up and sitting back down, that's great. Or if you can do the foot lifts, even better. And then the hardest option is those leg extensions. Perfect, guys. Keep moving. 5 seconds. Well done. 3, 2, 1. Catch that breath. Slow everything down. And we're back to the start for one more round. So we've got those shoulder taps first. So you've had a go with some of these exercises now. If they are too difficult, take your time. If you're finding them okay, obviously you can work a little bit harder. Okay? So we'll go in 3, 2, 1. So over that chair, back's nice and straight, slight bend in the elbow, and we're just trying to tap with minimal twisting. Okay, try not to twist your body. Hold yourself over that chair. If you want to make it harder, you can sink yourself lower. Hold yourself lower. If you want to make it easier, just come higher. A little bit of a lean, longer arms, and just tap. If your chair's pretty solid and it's not moving anywhere, you can challenge your core a bit more by taking your feet further away. Good, 10 more seconds. Just working that body, holding that body weight. Good, just to be able to support yourself. Good, 3, 2, and 1. Perfect, well done, that one's done. Good, we're back to marching, guys. We're marching and we're punching straight out, just keeping your heart rate up on this round. On the next round, on circuit 3, there's not so much cardio. Okay, in 3, 2, 1, we're marching, picking those feet up and popping those arms out in front. So core's in nice and tight, chest is nice and proud. Pick those feet up off the ground, keep your arms moving. If it's hard, slow it down, take your time. If it's easy, higher and faster. Okay, whatever you can manage, work at your own pace. Really good job. It's a hot day as well today, guys, so just make sure you stay hydrated. Keep working, just working at your own pace as always. Rest whenever you need to. You can have a rest whenever you want. Take your time, doing really well. Good stuff. Last 5 seconds on the march, and then exercise 3. 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. So, bit of the confusing one. We've got the pull, rotate, press, back down. So I'll come low again. Okay, in 3, 2, 1. So arms long, pull your elbows back, rotate your palms so they're facing forward, push to the ceiling, back to the sides, back down and out. So try and keep that going, follow me through. So this one, we really want to try and engage that upper back. So pull those shoulder blades together, keep them pulled back as you rotate and press. And like I always say, if we're on laptops, driving, phones and things like that, that upper back can get quite weak. Those rotator cuffs in the shoulder can get quite weak, which can cause shoulder pain. So we're just helping strengthening up these smaller muscles. Good, really engage that scapula, take your time. Excellent, guys, 5 more seconds, probably 1 more rep. 3, 2, 1, perfect, shake those off. Good, arms will probably feel a bit tired on the next punch. So next one, we're marching and we're punching to the sides. If your arms are a bit tired, punch down towards the ground. In 3, 2, 1, picking those feet up, and we're just popping those arms to the sides. So nice steady march, take your time, work at your own pace as normal, guys. Core in tight, chest up, try and keep moving. If your arms get tired, just slightly angle those arms down, keep picking those feet up. Really good job. If you need to, slow it down. You could always relax your legs completely. You could relax your arms completely. Whatever you can manage. As long as we're moving, it's just going to help work that cardiovascular system. Get a few steps in. Gets us nice and active. 10 seconds. And then we're combining that with the strength work to help improve your strength and injury prevention. Good. 3, 2, 1. And then the final 2 exercises is the chair lift-offs. So edge of the chair, get yourself forward. Okay, and then we'll give that a go in 3, 2, 1. So moderate option, you're off the edge of your chair and you're trying to pick your foot up off the ground. So you're keeping this core nice and tight, working the hip flexors. If you want to make that harder, you can try and straighten the leg. That's going to get a bit more quad involvement and get those legs working more. Or if you're just struggling for that, just try and hold yourself, lift off forwards, come back in again. Lift off forwards, come back in. So we're just strengthening up those arms, working your core, working your legs. Good guys, 10 more seconds, whichever one you can manage. Just a little bit of functional strength, getting up and down off the floor, getting out of chairs. Good, 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1, well done, that's a tough one, excellent. Final cardio exercise is marching and punching to the ceiling. So a little bit of a trickier one. Finish off the round, you're doing really well. In 3, 2, and 1. So marching it on the spot, drive those arms up, core in tight, chest proud, drive them arms to the ceiling. If your shoulders are tired now, just give me some bicep curls instead. That's absolutely fine. Like I keep saying, as long as you're moving, that's not a problem. It's all good. You can work as hard or as light as you would like to. Good. Final exercise, then we've got another minute rest. And then you can have a breather, take your time. And then we're into the final round. 15 seconds to go, guys. Keep pushing. Excellent. Nearly there then. Last 5. 3, 2, 1. Well done. Relax there. Have a breather. Okay then guys, final round. So circuit number 3, core exercises with a little bit of functional movement thrown in there just to keep us moving in between. So we're going to start off on the chair. We have done this one before. So what we want to be looking for is sitting on the edge of the chair, hands across your chest, back's nice and straight, and then you're going to slowly lower yourself down, if you can, all the way to the chair, bottom of the chair. And then sit yourself back up, hands back on your chest, slowly down. So you go nice and slow. That's going to switch on these ab muscles and core muscles, and then get back up, okay? If you want to make that easier, hands on your thighs. Exactly the same thing, but our arms are extra weight, so then they're further away over that pivot point. So hands on your thighs, slowly backwards, and there. And if you want to make it harder, you can try and tap your chair and then sit back forward if you can. That's quite a challenging one, okay? So we're looking for just slow tempo on the way down. So 45 seconds in 3, 2, 1, we are in. So hands across your chest, slowly backwards, all the way back into that chair if you can. And then you can take your hands off and sit forward, okay? Easier option, just keep your hands on your thighs, slowly back, and then sit forwards again, okay? Whatever's best for you. If you can't get all the way back, just go a small bit and back up, a tiny bit and back up, whatever you can manage. Everyone's at different levels. but if you can, all the way down. Good. Hardest option, like I said, is tapping the back of that chair and sitting back up again. 10 more seconds, guys. Focus on coming down slowly, and then you can take your arms off and lean forward and use your hands to get yourself up. 3, 2, 1. Well done. Cool. Standing up on the next one, we're going to keep you moving. So we've done this one loads, good old fashioned opposite elbow to opposite knee. So we're just getting a bit of rotation in there, squeezing your core, okay? In 3, 2, 1, so picking that knee up, opposite elbow to opposite knee, so we get a bit of rotation across the core, trying to get that heart rate up a little bit. If you want to make it easier, you just don't come as high. So it's just a little lift with a small little twist, and that's absolutely fine. If you want to make it harder, you can obviously come higher and you can work that a little bit faster. So it's completely up to you. Just staying on the move. Good guys, 15 seconds. Squeeze that core as you twist across. Get those abs working and those other muscle groups. Excellent, nearly there. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Back onto your chair. So, as always with these core exercises, just try and initiate like a slightly leant back position just to switch those abs on. Next one, we're going to have your legs straight, slightly leant back to switch your core on, and you're going to try and just bring one knee in and one knee out, okay? So you just bring in your leg in and out, all right? So give that one a try, off you go. So slightly leant back position, abs are engaged, and we're just working these hip flexors a bit to pull those knees in. If that one's a bit easy, you can try and do a straight leg lift. So it's just a straight leg lift off the ground, squeezing your core, squeezing your hip flexors, but we want to try and stay in that slightly leant back position, okay? If that's too difficult, just bring your knee in and out, but stay in this upright position and keep your core engaged. Good, 10 more seconds, guys, keeping it going, in and out. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, perfect. Back onto your feet. So next one's a bit of a funky one. I want you to work on that hinge positioning. So we are going to lean forward slightly, back's nice and straight, activate the hamstrings, arms are long, and what we're going to try and do is look to the right and then look to the left. Okay, so give that a try for me. So you're just slightly leant over and you're just looking to the right and to the left. So as you can see in this position, back is nice and straight, hamstrings are taking the load, and now working the core to rotate around the spine. So we're working these oblique muscles. If you struggle for that hinge position, you can do it upright. Just go slower and try and lean forward slightly. Okay, it's a really controlled movement. We're working this lower back as well. This whole core has to work because we're leant over our feet. Good, 3, 2, 1. Relax there, perfect. Back down to your chair. Again, sitting ourselves slightly backwards. Activate the core. Arms are going to come low to high, low to high. So keep that core in tight, moving those arms for some more rotation, okay? Off we go. So arms low to high, low to high. If you want to make it harder, you can lean yourself back more into the chair without touching the back. If you want to make it easier, just sit upright and stay upright, but we're just working the arms around. So as our arms move, our centre of gravity is going to move, and that's going to work our core to switch on and keep us nice and stable. If it's too hard for your arms, you can just come a bit lower, up and down, and just keep that core in tight. Good, 10 more seconds. Squeeze those abs. Excellent, 5, 3, 2, 1, and standing up, final exercise of the first round of 2. We're going to hold a nice strong position, slight little squat, bending the knees, arms in front, and we're just going to rotate around that spine with long arms, okay? Off you go. So start off slow, okay? And if you want to make that harder, you can obviously go a bit faster. And what we're doing is using the core to brake, change direction, brake, change direction, and we're just working that rotation around the spine to make sure the shoulders are moving, not just the arms, okay? So rotate that upper body, but keep this core in tight. So we're just working twisting. That's when we're most likely to sort of injure our backs and things, when we're reaching down and twisting. So we're trying to expose your core to some twisting, some rotation, some flexion, extension, to strengthen up your core in different angles and reduce the likelihood of injury. Good, 3, 2, and 1, perfect. Have a little breather for 15 and we're back down to the chair. Second round, guys, flying through, 6 minutes left. In 3, 2, 1, we're slowly coming down. So slowly down to your chair, and then you can sit forward and come back up. So you should feel these ones a little bit more on the second round because your core will probably be a little bit more fatigued from that first round. Try and keep everything nice and controlled. Keep that core in nice and tight. Back stays straight. Easier option, hands on your thighs and just slide your hands down. And then you can sit back up. Harder option, you can try and tap your chair and then pull your body back up again. Good, 10 more seconds, guys, well done. Core in nice and tight, back nice and straight. Squeeze it in, 3, 2, 1, perfect. Take 15 seconds, run our feet. Well done, guys, flying through. We've got opposite elbow to opposite knee next, so staying on the move, core in tight. I keep saying it. 3, 2, 1. So nice and tall. Bring those knees up. Try and squeeze across. So as you come up in the middle, we're squeezing that hip flexor, squeezing the core, and really activating. We're not just kind of folding forward and picking our knee up. We want our knee to try and meet our elbow, or as close as you feel comfortable to do so. Even if that's just a tiny movement, you can still think about squeezing the core as you rotate, okay? So keep thinking about working that core. Good, 15 seconds. Great work, keeping it going. Staying on the move, last 10. And just work to your own pace. 5, 3, 2, 1. Perfect, back down to the chair again. So as always, sitting on the edge of that chair, leaning back slightly. Okay, and then we've got our legs straight and we're going to try and bring your knee up in towards your chest, okay? Off you go. So we want to keep this back straight, core in tight. You should feel this quite a lot in your hip flexors. So when we're sat down day to day, these hip flexors can get quite weak. So we're actually trying to strengthen them up a little bit, keep them healthy, okay? Harder option, keep leaning backwards and try and lift a straight leg up off the ground if you can. But keep this back straight, keep your abs engaged, core in nice and tight. And if both of those are a bit hard, just sit upright and just try and bring that knee in and out instead, but just keep your core engaged. Good, 10 more seconds, guys, keeping it going, doing really well. Good, 5, 3, 2, 1, perfect, straight back up, 3 to go. We've got the little hinge pendulum, so it's kind of like golf putting, if anyone plays golf. So slight little lean forward, activate the hamstrings and the lower back, and we're twisting side to side, okay? Give that one a try. This one's nice and controlled. Have a little pause as you turn. Keep that chest over your feet, legs are nice and long. And like I said, it's kind of like a golf putting action, but we want that movement to come from the core, and then we're working that low back as well as we're leaning forward. There's a lot of different forces going on. Try and keep that core nice and strong. 15 seconds. So just little twist side to side, even if it's just a small movement, but just don't let that back round, okay? Because the lower back won't be doing anything, core will probably switch off. So tuck that pelvis under, core in tight. 3, 2, 1. Good job, well done. Cool, take a seat. Excellent stuff. Then final one on the chair. We're going to go low to high again. So nice long arms. Pull it across the front of your body. In 3, 2, 1. Slight lean back and then long arms up and down. Up and down. So keep that chest up, shoulders back. Keep your arms nice and long. And just pulling those arms up across your body. Up across your body. If it is a bit too tough, you don't have to come as high. You can just come up to center but just keep this position nice and strong. If that's too hard, sit yourself upright, do exactly the same thing upright. But again, we've got no chair support, so we've got to use these core muscles to keep that spine nice and straight. Good job, well done. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and then the final one is those standing rotations. Core in nice and tight. Nice solid position, guys. Slight bend in the knees. Arms nice and long. In 3, 2, 1, let's go. So start off slow, side to side, and then if you want to make it harder, you can move a bit faster, but only work to your limitations. Obviously these big long arms, they're a big lever. They're really going to work that core hard to break and pull, break and pull. So make sure the movement is coming from your abs to change direction and your core, not from just your arms moving. Okay, if you want to make it easier, you can just bring your hands in a bit narrower. The lever length will be shorter. But try and hold that strong position. Pull those arms across your body. 10 seconds, guys. Really good job. 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. Have a little breather, grab a quick drink. Okay then guys, so we're just going to take a little seat in your chair just to finish off with the stretches. So core in nice and tight, okay, and we're going to slide one arm down the side, big reach over the top, just to stretch down your side. Nice big reach. We work that core quite hard, and down to the other side, big reach. Just loosen off your core, down, right down your side. Good, and we'll just get into those shoulders a bit, so sliding one arm down the back, keep that chest up. If you struggle for that mobility, you can just try and push your arm back a bit there, but we're just trying to get into your lats, into your triceps, and just into that shoulder joint. Just keep them shoulders nice and healthy, work them through a big range. Good, and change arm guys, well done. Quick little stretch to finish. Well done. Good, and the next one, a little bit of a funky one. We're going to go one leg out straight. If you can, cross your leg over, okay? And then we say your right leg is crossed over. We're just going to turn your left arm, so just pulling that left arm across the front of the body, just to open up the spine and the glute. If you can't get your leg over there, just have your legs long. Use your opposite arm just to rotate. So we're getting a bit of spinal mobility in there, and you should feel it on the outside of your glutes if your knees bent. And then over to the other side, so if you can, cross your opposite leg over, opposite hand comes on the back, and we're just looking over that shoulder. You can kind of hug that knee into the chest a little bit, and you get a bit of a stretch in this glute on the outside here. Mobilise your spine. If you can't cross your leg over, keep it lower, and just twist. Good, and then we've done a bit of work on the hinges. So what we're going to try and do is just straighten out one leg, keep the other leg nice and long, and just lean forward. So you're just reaching down that straight leg, stretching out your hamstrings, keep your back nice and straight. Good, and then it's opposite leg. So opposite leg comes out straight, just reaching towards your feet, kind of like you're doing your shoelace up. Try and keep your back straight. Guys, and that'll do us. Well done. Give yourselves a round of applause. Excellent work. Brilliant job, guys. Thanks again for joining us for week 9. I hope you found that one enjoyable. Obviously, it's a little bit more challenging than normal, but I wouldn't have put it in there if I didn't think you could do it. So you're all doing really well, so keep up to date with those. If you do have any questions or want to get in touch, you can obviously use the details below. Keep up to date on YouTube and we'll keep getting those videos out there. So excellent work, well done.